Good morning, Greenlighters. Welcome back. My name is Jane. Today I'm subbing for Julie. Um, I am greenlighting my day with the first chapter of this book called The Best Yes. Trisha gave it to me for my birthday this year. It's called The Best Yes by Lysa Terkeurst. Making wise decisions in the mind of endless demands. And so I'm going to take you with me on this first chapter. This is how she defines a best yes. What is a best yes? In its most basic form, a best yes is you playing your part at church, at school, at work, at wherever you are today. And what's so great about that? In God's plan, you've got a part to play. If you know it and believe it, you'll live it. You'll live your life making decisions with the best yes as your best filter. You'll be a grand display of God's word lived out. Your undistracted love will make your faith ring true. Your wisdom will help you make decisions that will still be good tomorrow. And you'll be alive and present for all of it. A best yes is you playing your part. If you know it and believe it, you'll live it. So today I'm greenlighting my day with this chapter. I'm going to be sitting with it. I think it's very easy, to me, it's very easy to forget to make what is the best yes, to ask ourselves that question. What is our best yes? To be mindful of the things that we do, not just be unfocused and busy and distracted as we tend to do, especially in this busy season right now. There's so many things happening in the world that honestly I just don't understand our unkindness to each other. Really, there's just so much unkindness, and I don't want to focus on that honestly, because I think that we hear about the unkindness more because it's in the news, because the negative things of the world get sold to us. It's part of the plan to keep us, under, I feel like, some kind of under somebody's thumb. I don't know whose thumb it is. I'm not going to name it or claim it, except that it feels like that. It feels like because everything around us is about negativity and people are getting aggressive with each other and disrespectful. It's just a part of something, some disconnect that we have, where we forget that we belong to each other. And I think I was having this conversation with Julie and Sally recently in the wake of the Syrian crisis, which, there's always, it's not just the Syrian crisis. I mean, there's crises everywhere. Every country is having issues right now. Every single one. And I feel like it's all because of the disease of unkindness. And I think that for those of us who say that we are believers, that we believe in something bigger than ourselves, we have to stop and question, is that true? Do we really believe that? Do we really believe the things that we say? I personally don't like to talk about religion. I don't like to talk about my religion because I'm not religious, really. You rarely find me in a church, listening to a minister. I think somewhere along the line I realized that organized religion, wasn't for me. My belief system is not something I do on Sundays and Wednesdays. My belief system is the way I live my life. To go to church and think that that's enough, and then spend the rest of the day outside of church being unkind to people, just didn't seem to fit with me. To be, and I mean unkind, when I use the word unkindness, I mean to judge other people, to not share in love, especially following the man that I've decided to follow, right? Because it's a choice for me. I have consciously chosen to believe in this guy who lived, a couple thousand years ago. I have chosen to believe that this guy made friends with humble people, that he made friends with the outcasts, and sinners of his time, trying to show an example how nobody's better than anybody else, that we're all equal in the sight of our Father. Um, I choose to believe that, he died for us, and that death means something, that it wasn't just the death of some deranged, um, I don't know, schizophrenic magician, right? Because how else would you describe him, as somebody who heard voices, I guess, and performed magical tricks in front of people? So um, I chose to believe in him. It's a choice that I'm making, and if I'm choosing to follow him and follow in his footsteps, nowhere in there, in his life, in the things that we've read about him, did he tell us to, or show us to be unkind to other people, to be judgmental to other people, to not welcome other people. You know, it's a tall order to follow, but he set the example, and so if I'm going to say I follow that man, then I got to know who I'm talking about here. When I say I'm this person because I follow him, I got to know who this person is that I follow. And this person wasn't somebody that was worried about self and what he had, and protecting what he had, and, keeping others out, as what's happening in the world right now. He wasn't that person. I got to remember who it is that I'm following, and I got to know that if he were alive today, he wouldn't be telling us to push other people away, just because they're different from us. I have a feeling he would be embracing the very people that that his followers today reject. You know, God. Anyways, I'm sorry. I dragged you into this at 7 minutes, and I'm not trying to preach. It's just, this is where I am right now, because I struggle with it. I struggle with the way of the world and the things that are happening, and I struggle, with what I believe and what I think. Is it right? Is it my best? Yes. From the big things like that for our world and our country. Where I want it to be a good place for my children. To just, in my family, am I giving the best? Yes. To the people I love, am I giving the best? Yes. That's all. And that's where I'm thinking about today. I don't know where you're at and what you think. What do you think about the stuff that's happening in the world? Because I think it's easy for us to want to be turtles and, get in our shells, protective shells, and hide and keep everything out. There was a sermon that I heard where the pastor, he's a famous pastor, and I wish I could think of what his name is right now, but it's too early, where he was talking about Jesus feeding the thousands with a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. Definitely not enough. I mean, barely enough for maybe a couple people, but he ended up feeding thousands. And the minister was saying how the blessing came in the breaking of the bread, right? Because Jesus' friends were saying, hey, you need to send those people away to eat, because we can't feed them. We got nothing except for this couple of stuff, it's not even enough for us. And Jesus was like, give it to me, and he blessed it, he said the prayer, he blessed it. And from there, everybody ate, thousands ate. And I think sometimes when we reject other people, when we're pushing them away, when we're saying they're different, they're here to harm us, they're, this, whatever it is, the story that we tell ourselves, that I wonder what blessings are we rejecting because we're refusing to break the bread. Because if the blessing came in the breaking of the bread, and we're refusing to break the bread, what blessings are we denying ourselves? I don't know, just something to think about. But I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great day. Make it green, people. Make it green.